afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to my weekly Saturday show called Encouragement for Your Life. So many of you know that Encouragement for Your Life is also my book series, volume 1 through 3. They're available on Amazon. And so what I want today is to set aside a few minutes of your Saturday. Let's just focus on you, your family, your job, your future. Most of you know I'm an executive speech coach and I'm a national speaker, and I help people just like you learn to make amazing presentations, craft a message for your company, or help you interview better. I'm also a conference speaker, so if you're part of a team that has a national conference and you're looking for a speaker, you can find me at debsofield.com. I gotta say, I am talking about one of my favorite topics today, and I've entitled it, Swing for the Fences. Yes, it's baseball season. Let's talk about it. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned for the next half hour. Let's get started with today's show. Baseball season, the smell, the sound, the noise, your friends, everybody sitting in the row together to watch the game. Have you ever just wanted to step up to the plate in baseball and swing for the fence? I mean, really give it your best shot and watch as that proverbial ball sails over the back of the stadium. I gotta tell you, in life and work, sometimes I think to myself, what would it take for me to swing hard and connect with the ball to put it over the fence so I can win the contract or help a fearful speaker thrive, or simply know that I did something good for someone else? Dear listener, today, against all odds, I want you to think about swinging for the fence. And for once in a very long time, have you do something that takes your energy, your breath, and your time away for your success. It's my opinion that too many people are happy to get up to the bat and bunt. Seriously, bunt. And while that may help others on the team to take a new base, it doesn't do much for you but sends you back to the bench, since most of the time we can take you out at first. I know sometimes you have to, quote, give one for the team. But what I don't want to hear is that you've grown lazy or comfortable, or maybe too heavy, physically, mentally, emotionally, to even get up to the bat and swing. Friend, take a look at the field and then swing with all your might for the fence. For you. Yeah, for you. See, from what I can tell, a lot of you have done plenty for the team. In fact, some listening today have spent way too much time helping others, and while that is good and nice and admirable, I gotta ask, what about you? What about your success for you personally or for your family? I believe that deserves your powerful crack of the bat for the fence. Trust me, others will take your time and talent and use you up to advance their career. And shocking but true, many people do that for others instead of getting into the game for themselves and for those they love and care about. Think about it. You, dear listener, finally taking high five glory for the good things you've done. I gotta say, I work with people all the time who tell me, well, Deb, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. To which I always answer, why not? If you did the work, why not say so? Let others know your value to the team. Because guess what? If you don't, somebody else will take the credit and be rewarded for the job you did. And you'll be crying in your beer and peanuts that no one knows your value. And you'll be right. That'll get you far, friends. Okay, now listen. I'm all for helping others round the bases for the team for a while. But at some point, you're going to have to step up to the plate to show your value, your strength, your vision, and have the initiative to hold your place on the team, or they'll find someone else. Come on, you see it happen every day. As you might have gathered, I love baseball. I love any sport that I can watch and talk with my friends at the same time. Eat boiled peanuts and throw the shells. Yeah, I am Southern through and through. But what I really like is when the one person that we're not really paying attention to on the team is up to bat. And when we're not really watching because we're eating boiled peanuts and hot dogs, the person who steps up, suddenly we hear the crack of the bat. And we see the ball go flying up, 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 and then as on cue, we all stand up and cheer. I mean, really, we're cheering for a ball to go over the fence. And then we adjust our sights to the forgotten little player rounding the bases and then watch the team come to the field to congratulate the home run hitter. Man, isn't that just like life? You feel like no one's paying attention. Then all of a sudden, you realize that you better step up to the plate and give it your all. I mean, really, friends, hear me. Some of you need to learn to swing for the fence, or you're going to lose your marriage, your job, your kids, yourself. It's a game you can't afford to lose. And the good part is, you know how the game is played. It's America's pastime. Listen, everybody knows this game, but what I find interesting is that not everyone participates. And that's the difference between success and failure. The difference between getting onto the field or sitting in the dugout. Between the memories of great games or vague remembrances of barbecue, hot dogs, cotton candy, with only a ticket stub to remind you of that great day. So, what will it take to convince you to get out of the dugout and put yourself on the field to live your best life ever? I know you know the game. Okay, you at least know the rules. But have you actually looked down the road and seen the outcome of your staying put and not putting yourself out there? Have you dared to take the time to see the future for what it really is, and not what you've been told or led to believe by others who are sitting in the dugout away from the bright lights of the game? Tell me, do you even know where the bat and the ball are? I can tell you this. At some point, before it's too late and you're too old, too tired, too exhausted to round the bases, you might want to stop and consider a few things at this inning in your life. Let me just go through my list of 3. Number 1, if your team, your family, your friends aren't going in the direction you know to be good, friend, where's that going to leave you? 2, if you can't play the game because you really are too tired, too broken, too lonely, or hurt, you're probably not going to be invited to the neighborhood pickup game, much less the World Series. And that would be a shame. And if you consistently bunt or walk or foul out, and you never muster the energy to swing for the fence, this game of life will be over before you know it. And then there will be no joy in Mudville because Mighty Casey has struck out. Or worse yet, you never even stepped up to the plate. No doubt it takes real courage and internal energy and belief in your ability to even step up to the plate of life. But friend, consider the cost of what you will lose if you never give something your all. And by that I mean swing for the fence. Everyone listening today knows that something in their life. So how can I convince you to dust it off? Pull out that old glove and bat, find your old uniform, put on your cleats, step onto the field. See, here's what's interesting. When you finally do, I just know you're going to love the smell of the fresh cut grass, the bright lights, the hot dogs, the popcorn, the muffled yelling of the fans you forgot you had. People who have been watching you, simply waiting for you to get into gear and get going on what they knew you could do. Friend, that's whatever you put your mind to. But you need to know that only happens in life when you give it your best effort and not your best excuse. Are you giving your best effort? Or are your excuses so good that you've gotten by for years just sitting on the bench? Let me once again hammer home my 3 thoughts for this show. And if your current team isn't going in the direction of your dreams, tell me, where's that going to leave you? And when will you decide to make a stand for your reputation, your future, your life, your family? And listen, by family, I don't just mean those you live with, but how about those you work with, worship with, and walk with in life? That family needs to see you move in the direction of your dreams, even if you have to walk the bases alone without the drag of those who drag you down. I admit, my friends say to me sometimes I sound pretty harsh on the radio. And they say, Deb, you really ought to lighten up. And then they actually say stuff like, why don't you just let the slackers be who they are? Come on. But I really struggle with that thought because I see more for you. Listen, I can't explain it, but I don't think where you are right now is the best place for some of you who are listening to my voice today. Now, some today are fine. You're on the right field in life. You know your position, you're playing it to the best of your ability, and you're succeeding. And hear me, I applaud you for that. I am cheering for you from the stands. I'll be the one yelling batter, batter, cheering for you to swing hard and put it over the green monster. It's the rest of you hearing my voice today and my words that I gotta tell you, I just don't understand. I don't understand your fear, your hesitation, or your lack of self-confidence. Those of you who know me know that I had 4 older brothers growing up. And I can tell you that if I didn't know a sport, they taught me. And I worked at it to be good enough to play with the big boys. That's just my drive. It's my makeup. It's just who I am. So I admit, I don't understand the fear of the unknown. Frankly, it wasn't an option for me. I was pushed to jump in and try. And I can tell you that, friend, I have won and I have lost. But most importantly, I learned how to play the game. And I do not sit on the bench in life or in anything I do. And I'm telling you, neither should you. Listen, if you can't play the game because you are too tired, too broken, too lonely, or too hurt, you're probably not going to be invited to the neighborhood pickup game. And that would be a shame. I think some of you should look at yourself. Really take a look and see if you are who you want to be. And here's the key. If you're not, for goodness sake, stop complaining and do something about it. So here's what's amazing. I love the line from Jim Rohn who said, "You can change at any time. You're not a tree." I don't know, it just makes me laugh. But the fact is, friend, you can change at any time you want. The only thing holding you back is, oh, come on, say it out loud. You. Yeah, you. Make all the excuses you want, but you know I'm right. And for the record, I don't want to be right. I want you to get going, get past your exhaustion, your brokenness, your loneliness, and your hurt, and see life for what it could be if you just give your best effort and not your best excuse. Finally, if you consistently bunt or walk or foul out and never muster the energy to swing for the fence, this game of life is going to be over before you know it. And then I have to ask, what legacy will you leave? Most sports heroes are remembered for either extreme success or extreme failure. And what's interesting to me is that the reality is many sports figures live a good life in the middle, never being overly famous or for some, over time, they're forgotten or become the butt of all sports jokes. But what is to be admired is the simple fact that so many of them got into the game, gave it their all, they swung for the fence, and they've gone down in history. A friend, swing for the fence. Stop your excuses. Here's the deal. Just try. Just try. Because here's what I know. You are going to love the feeling of the sting in your hands and arms as you watch, some of you for the first time in life, that ball sail over the fence. All because you stepped up to the plate and you gave it your all. I love baseball. I love the idea of getting in the field. I love the idea of knowing that with some hard work, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of fun, you could have a great life. Our friends, swing for the fences. Swing for the fences. I'm Deb Sofield. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to come right back and tell you how to swing for the fences. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If you or someone you know is interviewing for law school, medical school, dental school, veterinary school, scholarships, college, or a job, call me. You need to be prepared for the interview. Most interviews have a standard set of questions that you must know the answer to. You need a coach and I can help. I have years of experience coaching for all types of interviews. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Wow, that commercial's a little loud. I'll try to work on that for next time. So I came across a great article by Kevin Dahm, and it's called How to Get Out of Your Own Way on the Path to Success. And I really like it, so I'm going to share it. Kevin says this: Over the years, I've heard many excuses for people not getting the success they want or believe they deserve from an opportunity. He goes on to say, I've been known to use a few of these myself. The opportunity wasn't there. The timing wasn't right. I just didn't fit with those people. I'm just not lucky. He goes on to say, it's not that the excuses weren't ever valid. It's just sometimes the excuses come whether or not they are valid. Many people start excusing themselves from incredible opportunities before they have the chance to fully explore the possibilities. When you find the right opportunities, the one that you can take that can take you to a whole new level of success, you want to be able to grab it and run. The last thing you want is to trip on your own 2 feet and let it get away, or worse, be the object in the path to your own success. So here are some tips for getting out of your way and on the road to success. Number 1, I know it's tough, but friends, you've got to be disciplined. If you truly want to win the big game, you can't be sloppy. You and I are competing against people who train and learn and practice. We need to be in control of our own destiny, and that means being in control of our daily activities. Have your priorities figured out, and if you don't know them, you will be prone to distraction. And if they're wrong, we're going to get off track. Be able to focus the right amount of thought, energy, and activity on the actions that will get you close to your goal. Learn to focus and dismiss distractions when it's time to get to work. Most importantly, learn how to rest. No one can work all the time without being exhausted. You need time to recharge if you're going to play your best. Burnout is a poor excuse for failure. The next point is you've got to be confident. The author says, I have battled my own share of insecurities. When you're blazing new trails, it's hard to be 100% assured, but you have the control. He goes on to say, I was whining to a friend when I was younger that I wished I had been more confident. He looked at me and said, Kevin, why don't you just decide to be more confident? The author says, I did, and I have not looked back since. Confidence comes from preparation and a decisive state of mind. When I'm speaking and presenting, I feel most confident when I've done my research and have practiced my speech a couple dozen times in front of other people. Give yourself what you need, whether it's practice, prep time, food, sleep, or funds, to take the material excuses away so you can move forward without concern. I love his next point, and that is be bold. Many people just stare on the sidelines, waiting for an opportunity to drag them into success. Being timid brings very little value when you're chasing your dreams. Some of you need to take action and jump in with both feet and be bold. Now, this doesn't mean you're careless. You have to do your homework and analysis. The most successful people have shown their boldness by waiting while everyone else rushes an opportunity too early. Study, prepare, assess, but know when it's time to stop analyzing and practicing and make the decision to jump in or launch and just do it, and friend, do it big. I love the next point because I think it's so true, especially for those of us in the South. Be gracious. You know, graciousness is not just about being nice. It's also about being, well, believe it or not, humble. True success is best served among friends and teammates who share in the glory and the accomplishment. Start getting out of your own way by admitting when you're lost, behind, or overwhelmed. Accept that the greatest achievements, well, many times they come from the combination of work and thought of many. So invite smart, energetic people on your journey and share the wealth and credit along the way. Together, you will grow in happiness and success, and everybody will celebrate. And then number 5, be grateful. The author says, every day I feel blessed. I've had my share of challenges and difficulties throughout my life, more than some, fewer than others. But with those turbulent times came growth and opportunity. I always seem to find myself further down the success path. Even after complete loss and reinvention, I still managed to find opportunities that made it worth getting out of bed and smiling. Those times of loss have made me more sensitive and grateful for the blessings in my life, be it people who love me, good health, positive cash flow, or just the chance to laugh daily. I never forget to share my appreciation with those who have helped and supported me along the way. I like that article. It's by Kevin Dahm, How to Get Out of Your Own Way on Your Path to Success. I have another great article from Renee King called How to Get Out of Your Way and Live the Life You Want. And she says this: excuses, we've got millions of them. We find every reason under the sun to justify our inaction. We insist that the time, well, it isn't right. The weather's too cold. We're too fat, too poor, too indecisive, too finicky, too insert your own excuse here. She goes on to say, I'm not trying to alarm anyone, but friend, this is your life. It's the one that you get. So are you using it to its full potential? Or are you just burning daylight? At some point, you have to take stock of your life. Have you accomplished the goals that you've set for yourself? Are you leaving everything to chance? Make a decision. She says, if I could be frank for a minute, there are people who are living like they are literally waiting to die. They have very little ambition, no drive, no sense of purpose. Somehow, they've allowed life's circumstance to beat them down, to kill their spirit. They have bought into the lie that their dreams don't matter. If plans don't pan out the way they had hoped, they take it as a sign that they are being unrealistic, that they reached for the unreachable. They become easily discouraged, not realizing that the race isn't really given to the swift, but the one who endures. Sometimes these things don't happen in a vacuum. If you find yourself always discounting the things that you really want to do, the places you want to see, then friend, it's time to get out of your own way. You've heard the old saying that sometimes we are our own worst enemy. There's a lot of truth to that. Once we allow fear to permeate our thoughts, it can take on a life of its own. Now listen, while you can't change what has been, you can certainly make new choices that will be more life-affirming. Besides, if we aren't at the ready to shoot down our own dreams, there are always others who are happy to take up the slack. The author says, I call them emotional vampires. These people will find 7 ways to Sunday to convince you that you are being silly for thinking that you have the right to create your own destiny. They seem to take pleasure in making you doubtful and miserable because that's the path they've chosen. And like crabs in a barrel, they will do whatever it takes to pull you down with them. I mean, really, who do you think you are? Surrounding yourself with people who look at life in a more positive way, it can be infectious. They can show you all of the possibilities that life has to offer. You will begin to get a new sense of yourself and notice that things become, less cloudy and less uncertain. And you'll find that things actually get easier when you believe in yourself. Like attracts like. So if you're around negativity, you're going to become more negative. Try to seek out the good things that life has to offer. But know that not everyone is happy to see you prosper. Some people rejoice in others' misery. But you can't let that stop you from trying to attain your goals. So start doing whatever it is you've always wanted to do. Whether it's changing careers, move to another state, or another country for that matter. Taking a trip around the world. Friend, do it. A little careful planning is the key, not the obstacle. If it is big enough to dream about, it is realistic enough to go after. The author says, for me personally, that is the one common thread I have found in the travel blogging community. There's a positivity among its members who come from every corner of the world, every faith, every religion, but they share a commonality. A love of the world and the people who inhabit it. They seek to learn something new every day about their global community, and nothing makes them happier than the full immersion in the experience. Moreover, they are all too happy to help you achieve your own dreams. Sometimes you have to let go of friends you've outgrown and find other like-minded kindred spirits who share a love of the same things that motivate and inspire you. I like that article, How to Get Out of Your Own Way. It's from a lady by Renee King. Let me end with a quote from Babe Ruth, who said, "Don't let the fear of striking out hold you back." We all know Babe Ruth is the one person that knows what it means to swing for the fences. Striking out did not scare Babe Ruth for trying to hit a difficult home run. Is the fear of failure something that's, holding you back? If you do strike out, go back to the plate. Keep at what you're trying to accomplish until you do one day hit your home run. Friend, don't let failure scare you to not achieving what you want. Go ahead, follow the advice of the baseball great Babe Ruth, and swing for the fences. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for listening to my weekly radio show, Encouragement for Your Life. Just know that I will be on your team for success, and together we will swing for the fence. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to connecting with you next week, same time, right here on this amazing station for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. Have a good one, everybody.